go over some of the important factors you're looking for? Are you looking for a particular niche? Are you looking for a particular revenue in the client mix? Give me an idea of how you would go about building a list.
Yeah. So let me start by answering that question by telling people what not to do, okay? Because not a lot, but lots of times I get called in, obviously, on failing programs, help, call centers or companies where things just aren't working.
Well, that's why we bought your book. So, it worked. So I appreciate it.
Yeah. So when I go into those situations, by far the biggest reason why people don't get an appointment setting program off the ground, or if they're trying very hard but it's not working, by far, there's not a second, third, or fourth option here. By far the biggest mistake they make is they call the wrong list. They cast their nets way too wide, and they're not focused on their higher probability targets. And I'll give you an example. So in my calling days, when I used to call, clients would say, "No, you don't have to worry about the list. We got that." I would never, ever, ever do a project if I did not have control of the list, because I knew that virtually all of the time the clients are going to cast the net way too wide, and then expect me to, work through their manure pile, hoping to find a few nuggets. What I was always trying to do is pick that higher probability vein of gold, and I wanted to jackhammer right through it, and increase the probabilities of success by having more fish in the pond, so to speak. So first of all, I got to say that people, whenever, there's certain phrases I hear and I go, oh my God, poor bastards, is, when people say they don't want to miss anybody, that's, oh God, you do want to miss people, okay? You want to miss the people who are lower probability or lower value. But people have this thing in their head, well, we've had some clients that are smaller, or we've had some clients that don't fit into the core. We don't want to miss out on them. That's the wrong way to think. The only thing you want to be thinking about is, I get X amount of money. I got X amount of time. I want to put that in the places where it's going to get me the highest return, period, all right? So missing out on someone isn't part of the equation. It's how can I leverage limited time and limited money to bring the most revenue profit margin into my company. So back to your mistake after that rant is, what do you look for? So basic marketing 101. Future people who buy tend to look like people who have already bought. So the first thing I would say to people is you pull out a list of companies that have actually purchased from you, 2 years worth, don't go more than 3 years worth. Pull up the list and create a model of them. So for a lot of clients, I like to use the Sales Genie tool. So I'll get a list of clients, I'll look up each one, and I'll make note in an Excel spreadsheet as to their SIC codes, both primary and secondary, their revenue range. And then after I look them up, I look for clumps. And I say, gee, most of the people who bought tend to be in these industry ranges. They tend to be of this certain size. So guess what? Common sense tells us that the most likely buyers are going to look like the people who've already bought. So if you had the choice to call a group of people who were 100% within that highest probability profile, or you had the choice to call a group where maybe only 10% of people in that group were of your highest probability profile, everyone else was lower, where are you going to have the most success? So you always start with profiling very tightly your targets, mostly by those who have purchased in the past. If you are newer, then you might build your profile based upon those that you know are already purchasing from competitors, but they have to be actual purchasers. They can't be people that you think or hope or wish might buy. They have to be based upon buyers. And another point here, Ed, and this is pretty consistent, when companies do the total universe, I always would encourage them to divide it into segments. So there's say you're C, if you go A, B, C, D, and E scale, your C prospects are your average prospects. They're solid bread and butter type targets. And then your B targets are better than average, however you define average for your industry, but they're not the top tier. And then your A is your top tier. And in virtually all instances, as a rule of thumb, your A target group among the whole pool is going to be anywhere from maybe 5, no more than 8% of that universe. So if you're trying to get a calling program off the ground, where are you going to allocate your time and money? Among that group that typically is going to keep you busy 100% in the A calling for 6 months, or are you going to call the rest? How much time are you going to spend on B, C, D, or worse, E-type records because you don't do that little bit of work? So to answer your question, on the list, profile based upon past behavior, get it tight, and laser focus solely on those that look like those who have previously bought.